All right, ladies and gentlemen, you have been asking me, Tony, when can we see your estimate for Q3 earnings per share? Now that September is done, let's get right into that information. Box Office Mojo showing right now that Q3 box office domestic ended at $2.646 billion. As others have pointed out, that was just on 174 releases. When we go back to 2018, 2019 and look at those type of comparable box office numbers, that was off of 337, 340, 371 releases. I think it is safe to say that the industry is recovering. We're posting box office numbers similar to 2017, 2018, 2019 on half the number of films. People are going to the movies. Looking at the numbers.com for the year, we're still on track to finish right here on this yellow bold line right in the middle, about 9.6 billion domestic for the year. My forecast has it coming in between 9.6 and 10 billion now that we have the Taylor Swift and the Beyonce concerts added to the Q4 calendar. 10 billion domestic box office sounds like a lot, and I know a lot of you are wondering, why isn't this company profitable? It is due to the sheer number of locations that it has. The size of its operations dwarfs any nearest competitor. And when you are that large, you need more domestic box office to be profitable. To make sure every location is bringing in profits, AMC is going to need a year with at least a minimum of $11 billion domestic box office. Let's see if that can happen in 2024. With my spreadsheet, I plug in the domestic box office number here at the top. As you can see, it was very, very close to Q2. So it's fair to assume, I think, that Q3 could be very similar to Q2. However, there was a couple of differences in Q2 with the previous quarters. In Q4 2022 and Q1 2023, AMC had been capturing 31% of that domestic box office. These numbers that we look at here, AMC was capturing 31% of it in Q1 and in Q4. In Q2 2023, that percentage of the domestic box office that AMC captured dropped back down to a more historical norm of 27.8%. You can see some of these other quarters that I have previously. It's kind of all over the map, but 28% is a good historical norm. Therefore, in order to not overestimate Q3, I'm going to use the same 27.8% as the percentage of domestic box office that AMC captured for Q3. I will show you what happens if it is higher than that though. The other thing that happened in Q2 is AMC exceeded the historical norms on food and beverage. Typically it's around 61% of admissions, and in Q2 it was 65%. So this number was higher than I would have normally expected it to be in Q2. For Q3, I'm going back to using the more conservative 61% for food and beverage. With that in mind, that gives us a net loss for Q3 estimated at $23 million or 12 cents negative per share. If you want to know what would it take AMC to get positive on this domestic box office, they would need to capture 29.4% of the domestic box office. That in turn would give them 1 penny positive earnings per share. As a third best case scenario, if AMC were to capture 31% of the domestic box office like they did in Q1 2023 and Q4 2022, that would give the company a positive 14 cents EPS, 27.7 million. The numbers though that I am going with for my Q3 estimate is going to be the more conservative negative 12 cents EPS, negative 23 million net income. When we look at what analysts are projecting for AMC, we have 6 analysts currently doing analysis on AMC for Q3. The range is between negative 1 penny and negative 63 cents earnings per share, with an average of negative 43 cents. A year ago, Q3 2022, AMC had negative $2.20 earnings per share, negative $226 million loss. So if they are able to pull this off, even in my worst case scenario, negative 12 cents, negative 23 million, that is a healthy improvement year over year. I have plugged some rough numbers in for the wide releases that are coming out in October, November, and December, and not even counting the smaller limited releases, I'm showing about 2.7 billion, mostly thanks to Beyonce and Taylor Swift. They saved our bacon for Q4. If you have questions or comments, please drop them below and let me know. Thank you for watching. I am Tony Denaro, and I will see ya on the next video.